Welcome back to California Cooking. On today's menu, sandwiches that are sure to make your mouth water, a homemade chicken shawarma hack, and my green goddess dressing that my husband says I should bottle up. Let's start with an epic sandwich shop hidden in the back of a liquor store in Highland Park. If you haven't been to Jeff's Table, go now. It is that good.
Welcome to Jeff's
you?
Table. Good.
Okay, Jeff's Table. This is it, huh?
I have a few, but they're spread out outside. Yeah.
I love the idea though, because if you come around this corner, and this street is fantastic, it kind of feels like you're, I don't know, in a quaint little neighborhood in the middle of Los Angeles.
It does, for sure.
Yeah, and you don't really know Jeff's Tables here. You're very kind of incognito.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I mean, it's one of the things I love about it,
Yeah.
is it's kind of a little bit of discovery, which is one of the great things about eating in LA in general,
True.
but here we are kind of hidden in a neighborhood, hidden in the back of a liquor store,
Yeah.
behind the big 1950s beer cooler. You come back and you find us.
Why not just go for the spot that's like Jeff's Table right in here? Why be kind of discreet about it?
Part of it was just that was the opportunity that was
Okay.
presented to me.
Yeah.
Part of it is, I think that's some of what makes food fun, is finding something, discovering that thing.
And I think there's something about just human beings where it's like, did you know there's a little secret, you know,
sure.
sandwich
For sure.
bar, being kind of in the know that you've got a secret.
Absolutely, yeah, we're almost a speakeasy, but you don't need a password, and we're just hidden enough that it makes it fun.
Yeah. What goes on back there, Jeff? What we're making sandwiches?
We make sandwiches to go. That's what we
Okay.
do. They come wrapped up in paper. We'll get
Yeah.
you some soon.
I can't wait. But for me, if I were to pick, you know, everyone says like your favorite meal. For me, it's a good sandwich.
I like all kinds of food.
Yeah.
To me, sandwiches are just great food on great bread. Right, so you can do them another way, right? They can also be like that thing that you slap together in the middle of the night with what you've got,
Yeah.
and you know, like, oh God, is this bread still okay? Like, we try very hard not to do that.
Okay.
We try hard to make it something a little bit more special.
How many sandwiches on the menu, or do they change? Does it evolve the menu?
It does. I think we have about 15 or 16 on the
wow.
menu now. It has been as small as 4 when we started. We're always trying to change a little, do something seasonal, do something interesting, do something fresh, do something that inspires us at the moment.
What was the sandwich that kicked off Jeff's Table?
We started with the Reuben that we call the Jeff Special.
love a Reuben.
Oh, good. Well, you're gonna have one.
A Reuben is just a perfect situation on bread.
Mine's a tiny bit weird. Well, we use a little bit of. I make my own chili crisp, and we use that in our Russian dressing.
Really?
So
So
that's. Yeah, it's got just a little bit of sneaky something going on. Yeah, all my sandwiches do a little of that. I like when food looks or seems like it's going to be what you know.
Yeah.
So there's a comfort to that. And then there's a little something that is surprising or interesting, takes you a little place that you might not have thought it was going to go. And so we have a little bit of Chinese component in my Jewish deli Reuben.
Okay, I like it. Is a lot of it inspired by Jewish deli type sandwiches, or not necessarily?
Yeah, I mean, my food is sort of what happens when you take a Jewish kid who grew up on the East Coast and didn't know that like Chinese food and lobster shacks weren't a part of the culinary tradition. So it kind of folds in, and then you throw that guy in Los Angeles, which is this incredible sort of tapestry of cultural and culinary opportunity, and inspiration is everywhere.
Here's the little tidbit about Jeff. You were a writer. You were in showbiz.
I'm a refugee from show business.
A writer for Friends, heard of it. I mean, kind of the biggest show like in our lifetime.
Certainly one of. Yeah, I got to be on the first season of Friends as
That's
a writer
amazing.
producer. It was amazing, incredible.
Wow. First of all, what was that experience like? And then what prompted you to leave showbiz?
I got to be a writer on the first season of Friends, which was incredible. It was, we had no idea that it was going to be what it became. We just thought, oh, we're doing a show about these really nice people, these kids trying to figure out what life is like with each other at that time when your friends are your family. And that led to like doing Thanksgiving together, right? The whole Friendsgiving, which was like literally based on my Thanksgiving problem.
Jeff, you created Friendsgiving. the term. You may have.
Maybe, I don't know.
Which is now like we say Friendsgiving, like it's
a thing. But that idea was like I was doing that at home, and we were looking for a Thanksgiving episode, and like this was my burden, my task was like, oh, how do I make everybody happy? Yeah. So I guess I was Monica in that episode.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, I've always cooked. I cooked before. It was always a thing that I did creatively for fun. I've liked to do it for friends. I did it while I was writing. I did it before I was writing. I had a great career. I got to do it for 30 plus years. My kids were grown, my bills were mostly paid for, and so I got to come into the restaurant world as a joy, as a sort of like, maybe it's time to get up off my butt and do something on my feet while I can still stand up.
Did you always knew that would be the next chapter in life, or not necessarily?
No. I mean, I always knew that I was going to cook. I didn't know that I was going to do it professionally. My wife has been like encouraging me to do it, and I always said, no, I'm too smart for that. And
it's a hard business.
It is.
Rewarding, no?
Completely. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Every day.
Oh my God. And I also heard in my neck of the woods you have a bar. I live in Studio City.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oi?
I have Oi Bar.
Oi Bar.
That's now 2 years old
in
Studio City.
Yeah, just a
it's
classic
great.
bar.
I always say that like Jeff's Table is modern deli. I don't know exactly what that means.
Okay, you coined it. Yeah.
And then I think that Oi Bar is also like modern bar food, but it's in a vintage space. We do things like matzo ball ramen and wagyu pastrami. We do kind of a Reuben as a quesadilla over there, influenced by all the same things that Jeff's Table is.
I can't wait to visit.
Yeah, please come.
Yeah, oh my God. Special delivery from Jeff himself.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
A handful of sandwiches.
Look at that. This is
way too many and not enough.
Okay, this is like a Reuben, but it's got some extra special.
That is the Reuben. Yeah, a little melty, a little cheesy. That's Comté cheese. Cheers.
That is so good. Decadent. The bread, that perfect dry bread, the cheese.
We use Comté, yeah.
Comté?
Which is French Swiss.
Yeah.
Right?
The meat, really good.
Thank you. Yeah, we make our own pastrami.
And then, you know when you get those little crunchy cheese bits?
So we put one in there. I have a rule, right? My rule is it's like, put something crispy in there.
Yes. And then this is where you incorporated the chili crunch right within the sauce.
That's right.
It's like a typical Russian or Thousand Island.
Basically that idea.
Dirty Baby. I feel there's a story behind Dirty Baby.
So when we came up with the sandwich, so it's chicken salad, and I was trying to describe the sandwich to a friend. I said, okay, so it's like melty cheese. It's like our Hainan chicken salad sandwich and our grilled cheese had a Dirty Baby. And it was like, so the Dirty Baby was born.
Oh my gosh. Ooey gooey, great bread.
That bread is my recipe, which is really neat. It's sort of we call it challah, spelled like Holla, because it's not really Jewish challah. It's Hokkaido milk bread meets Jewish challah with a little brioche thrown in.
Rarely is there something that it's like, I've never tasted that before. That combination of things in my life. Oh, it's the last one. I don't want it to end, frankly.
We can start. I got more sandwiches.
Wait, kim cheesy.
Cold kim cheesy.
Cold kim cheesy.
We also have a hot kim cheesy.
Ooh, very interesting. Classic Italian sub. You've got the funkiness of the kimchi. I love tang in a sandwich. I feel like kimchi is something I could go on a lot of different sandwiches, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Fun to make.
And just add that kind of kick. Mm-hmm. This has been, the perfect way to spend lunch. Honestly, what a guy. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
Nice. My pleasure. Thank you.
No.
Coming up, a green goddess dressing that will make you want to eat more veggies, plus slow roasted chicken shawarma that's juicy, tender, and cooked to perfection. That's coming up next. It happens to be Ari's favorite sandwich and a very popular street food. I've made chicken shawarma before, but this time I tried out a different cooking method and I was pretty happy with the result. I got my skewers out today and we're not grilling. I'm gonna do an oven roasted chicken shawarma. And chicken shawarma, a Middle Eastern dish with all these amazing seasonings. The chicken is juicy and it's gonna be stacked onto these skewers. Probably should get my skewers more straight. But I think this could be a fun way to prep our chicken shawarma, and then the way I enjoy it is wrapped up in some flatbread in a sandwich. So the first thing we're gonna do, okay, so I've got my cookie sheet, I've got a rack, like a cooling rack, my onion and my skewers. So here's how this, in theory, is going to work. I have the oven on 375. I think you could do as high as 400. And in here, I've got chicken breast and chicken thighs. You could do either or, but I did a mix because I like white and dark meat chicken. So first thing, you're gonna hit it with a good amount of salt, and then our seasoning. So we've got cumin, at least a tablespoon of cumin, garlic powder, and we've got, let's see, a little bit of cayenne. I'm gonna hit it with just a tiny bit, especially if maybe the kids in your house are gonna eat it. So a little sprinkle of cayenne, and then some coriander, smoked paprika, and this will give it this beautiful red color. Olive oil to get things going, because you want to marinate this. And I think let this sit in the fridge if you can for a couple of hours. Let all the chicken marinate, and then I'm gonna hit it with some lemon juice too. I've got my tongs. Gloves would probably be nice in this, because you want to just get everything coated. And again, if everything doesn't look like it's got enough seasoning, add more. So here we go. First thing though, lower your rack in the oven. You wanna make sure these fit. So before your oven gets hot and everything's hot, you wanna make sure this will fit into your oven. Clean hands, and there you go. Look at that. Alternate maybe between white and dark meat would be best. And you just layer your chicken, and it's gonna cook, and all the juices are gonna drip down. Starting to lean, but that's okay. And I bet that onion is gonna be so tasty at the end. I like the metal skewer versus the wooden skewer. I think they're stronger, just for holding things together. There it is. Wash my hands and I'll pop it in the oven. I'm really excited to make our shawarma sandwich. So our chicken shawarma, I'm really happy with the way it came out. The onion stayed intact. All of the juices dripped down, and I think that onion chopped up in the sandwich is gonna be so good. I let it sit, let it cool before we go and slice it. So the goal is to try to make these thin slices of the chicken. Our toppings, because I know everyone has maybe a different combination of things they like on their shawarma, on their chicken shawarma. I'm going to do, I have some tahini, which is a sesame seed sauce paste. This already comes out ready to go. I'm gonna have some of that on there, but also I'm gonna make a yogurt sauce. So I've got my labneh. Thin it out with some fresh lemon juice, and then salt and garlic. Got 2 cloves here. I'm gonna just do a rough chop. You could grate it. And I put the bread in the oven. The oven was still warm, just for a minute or 2. And this is the lavash flatbread. A good amount of garlic going in. And so now we've got a yogurt sauce, easy. Some of the other toppings I wanna add, some cucumber. I'm gonna do a dice. And then I've got these cute little cherry tomatoes you could cut in half, some red onion. So a lot of times it'll be pickled onion. I don't have pickled onion, so I'm just gonna do some thin slices of red onion. And then some romaine, thin chop, a little bit of olive oil on all of our veg, a little bit of salt. Everything should be seasoned. Let's try to cut our shawarma. Here goes. And then you just take it down, get into all the layers. I'm gonna take it to the other side. I like the crunchy bits on the end. Making our sandwich. First thing I'm gonna do is our yogurt sauce. Yogurt as our base to just keep everything together. Next, let's do our chicken. And then some romaine, some red onion, these beauties, these red cherry tomatoes, which look so good, the cucumber. Let's hope I can close it. And then the tahini. Here we go. We got it in. Moment of truth. Yum. You got all of that in there, the chicken, and the chicken has so much seasoning. Yum. Coming up, it is a showstopper of a salad, but the green goddess dressing is the star of the show. That's coming up next. It is the perfect dressing for a hearty salad or a delicious dip for your veggie tray. My green goddess dressing is creamy, bright, and has just the right amount of tang. It's that time of year where you just want to eat a little bit lighter. You want to make things that have more fresh ingredients and maybe not, sit over a hot stove. So I'm going to try to make technically a salad, but I think it's a salad that's got a whole lot of punch because it's going to have a little bit of shrimp on top, some boiled potatoes, some hard-boiled eggs. Green goddess dressing, I think, is the star of the show. But first thing is first, I'm going to get some asparagus into some boiling water. You only want to blanch it really quickly. You don't want them to be soft. The way you break off that tough end of an asparagus, it's so easy. You just wash the asparagus, and then asparagus kind of snap exactly where they need to, and that's how you get rid of those tough stems. So I'm gonna put them back here in a pot of boiling water. I'm gonna add some salt to the water and maybe just a minute, and then I'm gonna take them out. Let me show you what I do. In order to keep your veggies green, after you quickly blanch them, you have to put them in an ice bath. Otherwise, they won't stay green. So these were in the water for a minute, I would say, maybe 2. Out they go. They still have got a little bit of crisp. The ice keeps them green and then immediately stops the cooking too. So you just roll them around and then you drain them. It's an extra step, but honestly, it makes all the difference because nothing is worse than brown, sad asparagus. Before I assemble the salad, I want to do the green goddess dressing. First thing, let's do a combo. I'm going to do mayo and labneh, which is yogurt. You could do mayo and Greek yogurt. You could do mayo and sour cream. I'm going to mix it all in the blender, a good amount. I want to make extra because nothing's worse than when you go to all this trouble to make dressing and you didn't make enough. I'm going to do about a cup of mayo. Same thing, maybe about a cup of yogurt, maybe a little less. The reason green goddess dressing gets its name are all of the green herbs that are in there. So fresh dill, a big handful. Tarragon doesn't get used a whole lot. It's got that licoricey anisey flavor, which is gonna go great with the shrimp that's gonna go on the salad. You just pull the leaves, about a handful. Chives, got a big handful of chives. Put those in. Parsley will help give it that green color. I just kind of shave it off the stem. Big handful of that going in. I'm gonna do a splash of white vinegar. You could do white wine vinegar, rice wine vinegar, anchovies. I know people have mixed feelings about it, but I happen to love, they're in Caesar dressing. They add a salty kind of brininess. You won't know they're in there, I promise, but this is definitely an ingredient you could leave out. A little bit of pepper, nice pinch of salt, some olive oil. I love making dressings because it really, you kind of play around to see if you get to the right spot. Let's check it out. All right. It's green, and that is the most important part about green goddess dressing. Oh, garlic. Do 2 cloves of garlic. I think a little squeeze of lemon. Let me clean up a little and I'll show you the veggies that go in the salad. Time to assemble the salad. It's a lot of elements, but the shrimp, cooking the shrimp took 2 minutes. They're large peeled deveined shrimp. I just put them in a hot skillet with some olive oil, salt, pepper, squeeze a lemon. The way I do my hard-boiled eggs is I put all the eggs in the pot, I turn it on, I bring the water to a boil, then I turn it off, put a lid on, and I let them sit for 8 minutes, give or take, and they turned out pretty perfect. So now we've got everything done. Let's assemble our salad. I've got our very green asparagus because we put it in the ice bath. I'm gonna just cut them in half. And I've got a bed of butter lettuce. So this is kind of a salad, but also, I mean, it's a meal. You've got shrimp. You've got potatoes. I forgot, I quickly boiled some potatoes. I have cucumber. This is going to be a very green salad because we also have our green goddess dressing. We have some either sugar snap peas, these are snow peas, already washed in the bag. These are so thin, you don't even have to cook them at all. They can just go into your salad raw. Avocado, more green. Quickly boiled up some potatoes. I kind of thought of what a niçoise salad sometimes has, which are potatoes. I was hoping for the little small round ones, but they didn't have them at the store, so I just got the larger ones, which was fine. And the one thing I want to do to the potatoes is a little pinch of salt and a little bit of pepper. Eggs. We've got our pretty hard-boiled eggs. Same thing, they always need a little salt in the middle. And then our beautiful shrimp. Just place that in the center. Some lemon juice on there, olive oil, salt, pepper. I think what would be kind of nice too is just because I have these beautiful herbs, we've got some dill, some fresh parsley. And last but not least, we've got our beautiful green goddess dressing. And I'm not gonna pour it over the whole thing, but I'm just gonna have a little bit drizzled around. Our salad is finished. For all the recipes from today's show, check out our Instagram page at KTLA California Cooking. Well, that does it for us. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.